Welcome back to Popes and Pilots. Let's play some more Victoria 3. We're playing as Mexico. We're going for Manifest Mexico. We have to, well, do a little of a reverse Manifest Destiny, take a bunch of years of A land and Canadian land, and even go to all the Russian Alaska over there and be bigger than the US as well. We've not done much expansion yet, but someday, I don't know when that day is going to come, but the day is going to come where we flip the switch from going all industrial powerhouse, which we're doing right now. Have a look at that GDP growth. And even our people are doing fine. They're doing fine. There's even some literacy around. I mean, some. They're not fully illiterate, which is nice. Nice. Eventually, we're going to try to turn that economic might into a military might. But I don't know when that day is. I don't have a good feeling for when to flip that kind of switch yet. So, we'll see. We'll see. The first test will probably be an attack on San Salvador, where we will have to deal with their friend New Granada, who actually has troops. So that's kind of my idea. Build up some military, crush those folks, and if that works out well, then we go and maybe do other things. We just fulfilled the realist movement by having a level 5 arts academy. Art we can all relate to. Arts academy building throughput, that is irrelevant. Science, I like science. Political strength of capitalists, grim realism for 5 years, no. Can we capture reality even more perfectly? Let's build ourselves a camera. Why not? Seems the only one that really provides any sort of permanent usefulness. Kind of interested to see how elections are going to shape out next time. I wish I could do something cool to maybe boost the momentum of the liberals. Liberals. Liberale. Who's the Liberal Party anyway? Or just the intelligentsia, yeah. I wouldn't mind the industrialists somehow getting in there or something. That would be fine. Fine art prizes just through the freaking roof. Apparently can't make enough fine art for all these people. Still don't know if it's worth all the investment, but I mean the buildings are making money. And what more do you want? And they employ intelligentsia kind of folks, I think, that vote for proper parties and not filthy, you know, Catholics or whatever. One would assume. One would assume. Now, we had a bit of an issue with a lot of things, right? We had an issue with sulfur for the chemical plants, which is probably why they're doing terribly. I just saw there, didn't I? Yeah, they're fighting to exist, and we can't subsidize because we have a stupid law. But that's gonna be okay eventually. How are we doing on fertilizer? Are we actually swimming in fertilizer? No, we are. Even though I believe we switched the chemical plant to most explosive used fertilizers, we still have tons. Okay. Fertilizer is mostly being used in our maize farms. Not all of which are using all the fertilizer. Let's do that. Go heavy in the fertilizer usage. I don't think anybody else can have fertilizer. No. Could have everybody run harvesting. Oh, for people. Yeah. Not really into that. How are we doing on food then? We have tons of grain. So really investing into that kind of fertilizer usage is not great. So we could help with trading that stuff, I guess. Could sell some fertilizer to New Granada. It's not great, but something. Anybody want my grain? Not really. Why would anybody want a migraine? Furniture? I mean, the Americans want furniture. I mean, sure. Let's do it. For now. Considerable demand for importing fine art. Don't believe it. What are we building after all these sulfur and iron mines? It's probably just more food industries. Still lacking food. Oh, you have no more peasants in Guerrero. Interesting. Let's have a look at Guerrero. Can I somehow zoom to Guerrero? I can't. There. You have food industries, a maize farm, a sugar plantation. You don't have much in general. And we could have your maize farm and harvesting tools. It saves a few laborers, but really nothing to write home about. Could go to rail transportation for another 1,000 laborers. Anything I can do to the wharves? No. And doing that would just have you use even more people. So I actually think Guerrero is somewhat at its limit. Might be able to run one more. Not that the game really tells me how many extra peasants I'll need. 31,500 laborers. And right now you're running... That is not how I want to see that. Okay, it's like 3,500 extra laborers and probably a bunch of the others. So we can probably run one more level of food industry here. But then we'll wanna branch out elsewhere. Speaking of branching out, we're not gonna be branching out. And this requires us to be right. Go with the good. Whoa, we're rank 10. We still don't have any army. That is actually impressive. Does that mean maybe the Brits want a defensive pact with us? No, is it still -2? Yeah. Okay. Might have been the same situation when we checked beginning of last episode. Fertilizer price going up a little, it's good to see. I mean, it's because we're exporting, it makes sense. But still, good to see. Okay, sulfur mines coming up. I actually have an unproductive import of sulfur from the US of A. That's a good sign. Well, is it? Show me that this gets better now. It does. How staffed are you? Do I need one more? I don't know yet. So let's not focus on that. Let's instead do what? Sugar is still looking terrible. Ceramics and glass are not looking great, so that's something we could easily do. Explosives are almost fine. Or just food elsewhere. Also need engines. That's right, because people are buying our engines still. Yeah. I don't mind upping the glass works by 1. And then maybe find a new place for food industries. In Veracruz, you say? Sure. Let's check the political situation in the south. So I think we just checked that El Salvador is still being protected by the 15 New Grenadans, right? Yes. Honduras, are you still being beloved by the Americans? Potential friend. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Receptive to diplomatic overtures. 75. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. And I can probably just attack into, say, Nicaragua with boats or something. If we had a navy. Do we have a navy? Probably do not have a navy. None. Probably also eventually want a navy. Well, that might be fine. Actually, how's Nicaragua? You have just a bunch of resources, nothing much else, but you do have a bunch of resources. Everybody is employed. Full, all these workers' paradises here. Full employment. You have none army. You owe an obligation to the US. Which probably means you can't just owe them another one to join the war. One would think. So maybe if we had a navy, we could just take Nicaragua. We need a real navy, which requires us to build the naval bases. It might be okay. Do you want to try and eat our way into South America that way? Would be a nice defensive point. Well, would it? I was about to say it would be a nice defensive point against New Granada, but then you'd have to actually defend down there against New Granada, rather than just having one large front going to San Salvador. I'm actually not sure. Might not be the smartest move ever. I think we'd better invest that into having an actual army. Which also helps with our prestige and stuff. I mean, probably Navy does too, but... Ooh, speaking of... Well, totally not speaking of anything like that. What about having more education? Did we unlock the ability to have level 3 education? We did, but it costs 93 bureaucracy. We don't have that. Okay. So we may also want to go eventually and upgrade our bureaucracy production. That die is annoying me. Sulfur is almost fine. Steel is not. Is iron fine? Iron is actually fine. We have another iron mine coming up. So I think we can swap to better steel production. Go Bessemer process. Like that. And have more steel. Not that that is the end all be all of solutions for anything. Kind of running out of lead, but we can always swap to dynamite on lead as well. Which might lead to another lack of explosives, but we know how to fix that. Still swimming in imported freaking fabric. But it's down to 900 imports. I mean, at least it's slowly going down. Sugar, chairs, food. Die. And these engines, which people are just buying. I think I want to go ahead and build some of the kaboom. Ideally, I'd like to upgrade barracks in a place rather. This requires opium. Upgrade in a place where there's a bunch of peasants rather than have stuff spread along too many places. Because whenever you do that, you get another dude. Right, we look at the generals. Here comes the general. There's the Mexico, the Central America HQ, and the Dixie HQ. I don't know that I can see these regions. Probably can. Strategic regions? Yeah. So every barracks you build in the Mexico region actually goes to the Mexico HQ army, I think. Look at this. But if we build it outside of Mexico, it goes to the other armies. But since we have the 3 armies anyway, it probably doesn't really matter. It probably doesn't really matter. So all I want is a place that has a bunch of people. And we just saw Veracruz being decent on that. Yeah. It's gonna up the army size here quite a bit. Why not go to 4 extra barracks? Now, do we want to produce our own guns? That is a question I have. The answer is maybe? I just don't know how gun usage really is during peacetime. Because we don't want an industry that makes no money during peacetime. That'd be bad, and we already saw that selling guns is kind of tough. So, oh, these build quickly. All quick like. People importing our engines again. Rude. Take your fingers off you dirty grubs of my engines. Vacuum canning. It's probably good. What does it require? It requires oil. I don't know how to oil, do I? How to oil? Waiting stations and oil rigs. Which, there are no waiting stations in Mexico. There are no oil rigs in Mexico. I mean, that much I knew. The question is that something I can build? We have no place, I don't think. I don't know if it's just technology missing or if it's also something else here. Because this one we have the technology for, but we have no place to build a whaling station. I mean, surely we have oil, right? We have Texas. Surely there must be oil once we get to the technology. Speaking of, how far away is that technology? Because I never cared about oil. Pump jacks, automatic irrigation, oil rigs. Okay, it's not that far away. Not that far at all. Rotary valve engine. Now building these things should upgrade our available regulars at the Mexico HQ, right? 2 in garrison now. Once the next one is built, which it just did. We're gonna get 3 in garrison or something? Does it take time to recruit them? I mean, probably. What if I were to look at the Veracruz buildings, barracks? Yeah, they're hiring a bunch of people. Probably will at some point increase the number of people garrisoned here. Oh, and we need to build more things. More things. Really don't know what to do with the dye situation. Oh, also paper. Because I feel like anything I do to produce more will just drop the price and have people buy more. Which is fine and all, but it's not what I want to get to, right? Not what I want to reach. Do we ever upgrade those glassworks? Maybe? I could check. I guess we did. No, that probably means that we lack lead. Especially if we do another round of glassworks upgrade, but that's fine. We have lead mines that can go to in the powder room kaboom. which then might lead to little lack of explosives, which means we want another chemical plant. So I don't know enough of the mechanics of this game to say whether a low loss is maybe something that you can just have and accept. Right? Maybe as long as you don't get a lack, input goods shortage, maybe having a little too few of something's fine and just impacts price. But I don't know that. I do not know that. What else do I want? Probably extra government. Nah, we don't really. No, we're building more paper so we can have more filing cabinets, right? Or better filing cabinets. So. So. That lack of fish. Oh, this is now actually our food industry is requiring more fish than we have. So maybe we do want to upgrade our fishing capacity, even though I'm not a big fan. But apparently you can't make canned goods without fish. And once again, it's probably Veracruz, because they still have people. Guerrero does not have people. Oaxaca has some people. Rio Grande has... Here's Rio Grande. Sure. Price of fish. It's insane. Through the freaking roof. Wait, we're still not building enough? I'm building 5 things. How is that not using my whole construction? I can always just throw down another tobacco industry, of course. At some point we probably want another railway, but we don't seem to have issues with infrastructure right now. Well, liar, liar, pants on fire. Mexico, does Mexico not have railway already? Surely. Yeah, have another level. It is our industrial capital. It is also our capital. But hey, who's counting? Okay. Building, money, all is going this crazy. Now we're at number 8 worldwide in GDP. Actually, only a third behind the US of A now. Successfully got industrial boom. Building throughput, mine throughput. Can I have technology? No. So it's probably just chemical plant throughput. I'm building that extra chemical plant for the extra explosives. Just making more raw stuff, I don't know. What do I know? Great Britain have declared Spain to be their rival. How we look military now? 1 more? Good lord, this is slow. I mean, I think it's nice that you can't just plop down a bunch of barracks and be done. Why are you recruiting so slowly? You probably lack the qualifications? Is that what's happening? Or is it just generally a slow hire? It might be. Which again makes sense to me. And there might even be something we could have done about that. Okay, so that says to me we want to upgrade in multiple places. So we have the chance to hire in multiple places, right? Texas, 30,000 peasants, but I'm kind of feeling that there might be oil in Texas eventually. So maybe Yucatan. Because I do want that oil. It would be sad if we find oil and then there are no people there to, you know, use it. Convoys, still a big deal. Trade routes, still kind of fine. 900 fabric, and we require, we have an extra, how many? 500. Still tempted. But again, I think we do need to have the cotton plantations to deal with the lack of fabric before we can cancel that trade route. Okay, we're up to 17 regulars now. Okay, okay. I just want to have a sizable numbers advantage over the New Grenadans, who are at 20. Plus San Salvador, who probably at not a lot, yeah. Probably means even more. Golden Nevada, eh? I think we already had Golden Nevada, so it's just more Golden Nevada. I don't want to use most places for this. Oh, there are a bunch of boys here in Zacatecas who'd love to die for the country. So why not? Why not give them that opportunity? Gold Rush, migration attraction, or Goldfields building throughput? Just more money. Gonna go for mine. Percussion cap. Could now build a munitions plant. So assuming that upgrading your troops to using better guns also uses those resources at peacetime, which I believe it does, which you could find out, right? What happens if I go here to garrisons and I go to you and I say I want you to be skirmish infantry, but mobile artillery? I assume we're gonna see defensive pact with the Brits. I'm gonna say yes. Surely nobody will attack the Brits. Yeah, we do require these goods now. So if we had factories for these things, we could create demand by just having our troops on higher supply level. Which is something that we would have to pay out of our pocket. But maybe that's not a huge problem. Yeah, it's kind of fine. Look at these no people working in the gold fields. And a lot simpler. It's a lot simpler to simply, yes. It's a lot simpler to simply import guns and drums and steel from from somebody. Apparently we need more tools. When we get the chance. Or when we need them. Rather than having the capacity on our own. But we're kind of dependent on being able to do that. And I'm not sure that we'll constantly be able to just do that. Are we swimming in paper again? Not yet. Not yet, even though we're done building the paper thing. Is it already fully operational? It is. More. And how's Sulfur doing? Aha! Knew it. There's a temptation to turn on the automatic upgrades. Certainly. Sugar. And it's all my food industries. Okay, so we just need way more sugar production. Fine. Fine. Where's my sugar at? Sugar. You could turn. Go ahead and have 4 more sugar plantations. Maybe it's unnecessary to think about the availability of guns yet. We're not planning to go into big World War type situations. We can assume that we'll have friends that will sell us guns. And I don't think there's naval raiding or anything like that. Coastal blockading, I've not seen that. So I'm gonna assume that we can. Therefore we'll be fine. 20. 20 is a number, but that's the same number that the New Grenadans have, so I'm still not into it. I need more. More guns. More people with guns. Somebody else can provide the guns. I think for now I'm fine with having somebody else provide the guns. The duel. Okay, so one of these two people dies. The Catholic Church leader, I assume, or the trade union leader. Kinda don't like either one. Let's go with banning dueling. We have the open hearth process. Nice, nice. That allows us to make way more steel if we have the iron. We do want the steam donkey. Kinda do rubber mastic. Gonna go for the steam donkey so maybe we can have pump jacks. I'm sure there's stuff we need here. Yeah, we're still at level 2. Should really be getting into society research. There's just so much research to do, and we're actually almost at cap in our research rate. Might be able to run one more university. How much are we getting out of our university right now? The university. We have 10 ranks of university, producing how much innovation per level? 3? Wow. So there is room for more university. I think I'm just gonna queue another. Assuming you have the peasants to do it. And surely peasants can just become lecturers like that, right? What kind of people do you employ anyway? Academics, clerks, and laborers. Sure. Well, that's not a lot of money. Oh well. Speaking of a lot of money, we're gonna have to put a cut in here. Thank you folks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you see, please do hit that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. If you have anything else to say, then the comment section might be the place for you to be. Thank you for watching. See you folks next time in our Mexican utopia.